Okay.
Exhaust, okay, so
You're-
if I purchase the exhaust fan, then I also have to what?
If you guys provide the exhaust fans, I can mount them and get everything wired for them. You guys will probably run the ductwork for it to get it exhausted out of the house.
Okay.
Okay?
If you purchase the exhaust fan, do you vent it?
Yes, and we talked about it briefly the other day whenever we were here. There's we think that this soffit is accessible and might even be vented already. If it's not, then we'll have to dump it over in here and put a couple of vents in it. But with the roof line being right there, that makes it fairly accessible.
I would rather have you vent it so that I don't have to find someone else to do another
Okay.
thing.
So, do you have a preference on fans that you want?
I don't know anything about exhaust fans, but I can Google it real quick.
Okay. Here's what you need to know about exhaust fans, okay? Exhaust fans are typically sized by the square footage of a room, okay? So a bathroom that size, I would be looking at something somewhere in the neighborhood of 80 to probably 110, maybe even up to 150 CFM.
Okay.
That's cubic feet per minute. What that means in layman's terms is how fast does this cycle all the air out of this bathroom and get that moisture pumped out of the house to where you don't have a mildew or mold issue.
Correct.
Okay, so typically the higher the CFM, the better, but you don't want to overdo it because then you got a jet engine running above your head.
And you don't need that.
Right, so for something, a bathroom that size, how many people are gonna be living here?
My dad full-time, and then my two teenage nieces are in and out, and then Charlie and I are in and out.
Okay.
Basically, us on the weekends.
Okay, so-
Basically, that is the bathroom that will be used.
That's the primary?
365 days.
Okay, so we're probably gonna be hanging close to that 110.
I dropped a strip down the fire pole hole.
Getting a pole?
Yeah, there you go.
Several people have asked me to put in a pole. I said, no.
I've been pushing pretty hard for it because I think that'd be awesome, but Jenna's more practical.
Have you always wanted to be a fireman?
No, I've always wanted to have a fire pole though.
The other thing about exhaust fans is we have those in what they call a fan-light combination, where it has the exhaust fan built into it, but it also has a light fixture built into it as well. And they integrate the fixture into the trim kit that goes over the fan, so whenever you flip on the light, you look up, you see the fins around the trim, the grate if you would, but there's a light that's mounted inside of that.
That's how mine is at home, but it is a pain to get the light bulb changed.
Okay, so here's the good news. Most of these new exhaust fans all have integrated LEDs.
Okay.
Okay, and they're usually color selectable. I can still get the other style where you can screw in a light bulb. Usually we put in just a long life LED light bulb is what I normally use, just a regular 60 or 100 watt equivalent. And I do have bulbs that are 100 watt equivalent if you want extra light that will fit inside of some of them too. And as far as maintenance on them goes, as far as replacing a lamp, you just take your fingernail clippers or whatever and just pop the little plastic lens out and unscrew the bulb and put the new one in.
Okay, yeah, mine I have to stand on a ladder and I have to push all this stuff out to take.
Yeah, so there's no wing nuts or anything like that on these. Some styles, the smaller ones, the vent housing or the vent clip is actually held in with spring clips, kind of like the trim rings on a can light. If you ever mess with one of those.
I just did last weekend at our
Okay,
house.
yeah, they're just little wide
Yeah.
springs is all they are, and it just holds it up under tension.
Yeah.
Both options work really, really well, as long as you have a good quality installation and they did good work on your drywall. You know, in other words, they didn't distort or beat anything up in the process. The other feature that's available on some models is you can get one that has a heater, you know, which is a nice feature on chilly mornings, and they also have some that have night lights built into them too. So we can go all out, or we can go keep it minimalistic, or
I don't need a heater.
no heater. Okay,
How much extra is the nightlight?
it just depends on which one we get. The nightlight, usually when they put them in there, I think the nightlight might actually be a feature that comes with the heaters, but I can look and see if I can find one without.
How much is the heater?
Last one I priced out, I think they were probably pushing almost $300.
How much is one without a heater?
You know, it varies. I've got the cheap ones that are closer to 60 to 75.
What would you put in your house?
I was gonna say, what's your recommendation?
Steve's like, stop asking me questions.
I personally don't care too much for the heater myself,
I'm
just
thinking I
because.
wouldn't use it.
Well, I'm an in and out kind of person. My wife, on the other hand, if she
Yeah,
had her
you're not
way
gonna
about
go
it, there would
next,
be
are
one
ya?
for sure, and there'd be no ifs and
No.
buts about it.
Like if I
No, I'd break my knees when I hit,
Dad
even
and
if I tuck and
are
rolled.
really similar. The point point of the shower is to get clean, get out, get your clothes on so you can go on to your next
Yeah.
task.
So here's where people kind of find the heater useful. If somebody's on blood thinners, as they age, they get older and blood thinners become more of a thing, they have trouble keeping their body temperature regulated. So you step out of a nice warm shower into a room, you know, it's well conditioned, but that chill initially hits them and it takes them forever to warm back up. That's where I find the most practical use in a heater in the bathroom in this particular application is, let's get the air warmed up while they're drying off, they got a little warm air blowing on them. You know, it just makes the whole process more comfortable. And it's a comfort thing is what it actually boils down to being. I don't know if your dad's on blood thinners or if he ever will be or anybody else, it's not my business.
Yeah.
But that's the practical side that I find where they are useful. But there again, it's,
And your dad's bathroom. Cause I mean, that's probably gonna be his primary.
That'll be his
bathroom.
primary bathroom.
When he takes a shower.
Yeah.
you know, the downside to it is if there's a bunch of kids running around, they hit switches, they don't care what it is, and it adds to your power bill. You know, that's probably the biggest downside to it.
So like on the outlet, it'll have like the regular toggle,
Mhm.
and then the heater just has about like 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
That's usually the way I do it, is put it on a timer, so that way they hit a button, as long as the door runs about 30 minutes.
Then I would say go ahead and put the heater in his. Which is the tub shower.
Okay. So we'll plan on that one. Now, dimensionally speaking, let me get this laid out and see what that looks like, and then I'll determine if there needs to be more light added or not. If there is, we'll probably do a couple of recessed lights.
That's fine.
You know, something along those lines, and they're cheap.
We don't need expensive light.
No, so, whenever it comes to exhaust fans, the other thing that I personally insist on is we stick with a name brand. And it's not to charge you more money, it's because after the sale, if we ever need parts for it, we can usually find repair kits or replacement parts somewhere like Brown, for example. You know, I found parts, you know, for fans, you know, that are 40 years old. You know, and what that means is if something happens to it, we don't have to go through and do a full freaking gut out of your bathroom to replace a fan. We can go there and replace a couple of components or a couple of minor modifications, making the whole process a lot more friendly, you know, 10, 20 years down the road.
That's fine.
So the brands that I look at that I find most favorable typically are Brown, Newtone, which is the same company, they're just two different names, and then the other one's Panasonic.
That's
Okay, so both of those companies have a very good reputation, and they usually have a pretty good warranty on them too.
okay.
You have a question?
No, I was just gonna make basically a comment that, you know, whatever you would put in your home. I mean, you've lived with them, you know the quality and stuff.
For me, I like quiet. I don't like to hear the fan sitting there whistling above my head. You know, I actually appreciate having to stop and pause and listen to see if I can hear it running.
Yeah.
That's a nice quality, and it's not so much of anything else, it's just, I work construction, so I always have a lot of noise going around me nonstop, and it's hard to find places where it's actually just quiet.
Yeah.
And to be able to stop and take care of business and have that little bit of time by myself in the morning, and not have to hear that
Enjoy
fan
it.
sitting there rolling and
Makes
rumbling
sense.
like I'm still at work, you know, it adds to my quality of life.
Sure.
That
So,
makes sense.
Yes.
so, yeah, I'll find a couple of different options for them and present them to you whenever we go sit down and go through everything.
Okay.
And I'll have web links and stuff like that printed off of the things that I'll be recommending. Duct size, it's gonna go back to the manufacturer of the fan, it's either gonna be a 4-inch or 6-inch. The duct work that I install is all insulated, and we do that for a reason, so that way you don't have moisture sitting and lagging inside of that duct where it is going from a warm conditioned environment to a cold environment in your attic. And mildew. Okay, we don't want mildew and mold growing inside of your duct, so we use insulated ducts.
You guys knock it down.
And more
Just
than
bare
likely,
wood.
like I said, we'll probably just take it, run it straight up the soffit over here.
That's fine.
And just dump it out that way. Unless another option is presented to me, which might have just
You
been,
want me to take them downstairs?
Oh, I wasn't gonna drop these.
No, I was gonna take them downstairs if you
That's
want.
alright, I already got a full pocket.
Okay.
But alright, appreciate it. Sorry, I just wanted to see when you'd notice.
I see light pass through there, that's probably, well, if I can get it through there, we'll probably take it running through there.
God, this is handy.
We'll have to double check. It's either going out this way or it's going out that way. You know, whichever works out the.
You realize you're standing in the corner that has the,
The broken beam? Yeah, I know.
okay.
I'm pretty light though.
And like I said, I don't know how far this will go out, I just know the tub is 60.
Oh boy, that's
Yeah,
really
some
broken.
approximate dimensions on what we think that it might end up being. If it scoots in and changes,
It won't change your stuff.
it's not gonna change it a whole lot. It might change the light placement. You might lose one light.
Okay.
You know, but, you know, if you got the crapper sitting here and a toilet, and the shower sitting over here and a vanity there, this wall disappears, that one gets pushed out.
Well, that wall will have to move though, right? It'll be like a half wall or whatever?
Let me set this down just a second.
Yeah.
Cause won't they still have to have a wall for the plumbing fixtures you go up through?
Yes. Okay, so if you're talking about a 60-inch tub, this wall moves back about 4 to 6 inches,
Yeah.
okay?
That's 56 right there. You want me to hold that for you?
So you're about 54. Back of your wall is gonna end up being almost here, about 64 almost,
Oh, good heavens.
real close to it.
Okay.
So this wall could move back a little, it could move back a lot, kinda depends on what you guys
Careful, I
decide.
just moved.
Yeah, there's
There's nothing on top of
Okay.
it.
and you're standing right on top of a
And then
broken
you
floor
said
joist.
3 feet for,
I was-
the toilet.
How far?
Yeah,
how
about
big
3
is
foot
that
at
now?
least.
That's little.
This cavity was 28 and a half, yeah. So by the time they had the rock and everything, it was about 27 and a half.
So 60-inch tub would go all the way to that far wall, and this wouldn't have to go.
And your tub's gonna be about right here, is that what you
Yeah.
said?
Yeah,
Right
the
there.
back edge of it, well,
Cause there's a
Figure-
little bit of lip and stuff on it.
you've got 4 inches of wall by the time you have your wall board on here, so all that moves back.
And you're expanding the bathroom into the closet then too.
Yeah, and I don't know where the closet's gonna move, I have to talk to Lyle.
Well, you may not lose that much of your closet to begin with then. Let me step around this side right here, please. About 28 and a half almost. And we're saying that wall's gonna move back about 6 inches,
Sure.
which will put you just on the other side over here, so you'll be about 3 foot on this end.
Gotcha.
So it's not gonna eat up the whole closet. Maybe it is.
This isn't a hard change out for them to do, other than what has to be patched in on the flooring to bring everything back up to the height. So if they walk this entire thing over,
And
this
then the
door
door's
shifts,
moving over.
everything else shifts over also. Or, depending on what you guys decide, you could potentially knock this down to a slightly smaller door for your roof opening. I don't know if they can get away with scooting that out and still doing a 30-inch door. Maybe.
Maybe.
So you have a couple of options there, it looks like. This side over here, you guys got a new wall instead of or a newer wall. What's happening here?
So the shower
This
is
is
here.
on suite, okay.
Yeah, shower is here, and then vanity and toilet
Shower is where?
here. I'm standing in the shower.
Okay. Is there any possibility that the plumber can sway you to put everything over there? And the reason why I ask that is, you have drain lines and you have water supply right over here. This is an exterior wall, which means it's gonna be a little, unless they bring it up through here.
Well, they're running all new lines.
Right.
Nothing is staying.
So you're saying put in like the bathtub or the shower and the.
Put them both, marry them closer together. typically you don't find plumbers that are gonna run any water lines or drains in an exterior wall because there's a risk of them freezing.
But then I'd have a window in the shower.
Okay. We'll let the plumber figure it
We'll
out.
let the plumber figure it out. Cause even Dave Griffin said the shower over here, because that way I didn't have to move the window.
Okay, so that means he's probably planning on bringing everything up inside of this wall cavity here then.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
So shower here, and you're gonna have the bathtub there.
No, there's no bathtub on the side, it's just a shower.
Oh,
Just a
gotcha.
walk-in shower.
What was the 60 inches you were measuring here earlier?
That was for the bathtub in Dad's bathroom, cause Dad wanted to keep a bathtub, remember?
Oh, so he was measuring the equivalent here for what it would be over
No, he was
So-
measuring it on that side, but then looking at how much of the closet we were losing.
if you were gonna put it there.
We have to put the tub there.
That's part of a different bathroom?
Yeah, that's Dad's bathroom.
Gotcha.
This was a wall, this is where my shoes were.
Right. No, I remember this was a nursery. I remember what this was. Okay, so that's what's happening. This is two separate bathrooms we're
Bathrooms,
talking about.
yeah.
Got it. And the entrance to it would be over where that former vanity wall was.
Correct.
So tub, where would the vanity be for him then? Would be where the closet's going? Is that where you're measuring
Which
that?
bathroom?
For Dad's.
Dad's vanity is right there where the older one was, sunken into that wall.
Where's
Gotcha.
the toilet going in over here?
They said toilet vanity.
Hmm.
Cause Dave wanted the toilets back to back if he could.
Okay. Are you guys doing anything fancy like bidets or anything like that? Okay. Is there a chance that somebody might ask for that later? Okay.
The only thing I'm asking for is a tall toilet.
Yeah.
Do we know the dimensions on your vanity on this one?
Yeah. I was in for the banister. I'll act as your desk.
Or if you want, I can bring one up here. Take too long.
That's the kitchen. I don't have a ponytail, I guess if I don't have a ponytail, I usually do. I can tell you that the shower kit is 36 by 60.
Okay.
I can tell you. Faucet valve,
36 by 60?
yeah. That's the shower in the room that you're in. I can tell you the shower door is brushed nickel clear glass with a roller.
That's okay. 36 by 60 is good.
36-inch vanity.
I was gonna say. I
36
thought it
inch
was-
vanity?
Yeah, with wall cabinet for storage. And crown and toe pick. I thought you guys
Because remember we asked if they had a 36?
Do you need anything else?
You said wall cabinet. Are you talking a vanity cabinet or an actual like a linen closet type of cabinet?
This says 36-inch vanity with wall cabinet. So the vanity will be a cabinet itself with
Okay.
drawers and cabinets.
Okay.
And then, they were gonna put above the toilet,
A wall
a
cabinet.
wall cabinet.
Okay.
That goes up to the ceiling with crown molding.